wife, Heather, has been involved for a long time with something called the Land Between. On a macro scale, this particular part of Ontario is unique. And there's a strip that runs from Georgian Bay down to Gananoque. And it's where the limestone of the south, the agricultural areas, meets the Canadian Shield. And that's not a hard line. It's actually a mosaic. There are pockets of limestone overlaid on the granite that create there's a little farm over there at Big Cedar that's a pocket of limestone. Mount Julian is a pocket of limestone on the granite. This creates the same sort of thing that we're talking about with respect to the wetlands. Where you have limestone, you get deciduous trees, and on the granite, you tend to get the conifers. Where you have a mixture of these, certain animals that want to move back and forth between deciduous, because they eat them, like the white-tailed deer, and the conifers, where they like to winter because the snow is not so deep under the conifers. It creates a perfect environment for them. So there are a number of animals that specialize in living in this land between, this mosaic, of ecotones, because they can move back and forth between the deciduous to the conifers. And so First Nations talk about this area, this land between, as the place where the wild strawberries meet the blueberries, where the white-tailed deer meet the moose. It's been traditional division, because if you know anything about your history, and we're all learning much more now, basically First Nations to the south were farmers. I mean, they grew corn and they traded corn with the tribes to the north who were hunters and brought fresh meat and furs and traded them for corn. So this has been the traditional meeting place for trading, and Stoney is right in the middle of it. And so from an anthropological, historical point of view, this is an extremely rich area. And so we have met with the Chief and Council of Curve Lake, that is the closest reserve here. And they are taking their own course of action, and they work in concert with other First Nations up and down the Trans-Siberian system, the so-called 7 Williams Treaty First Nations. And they're mounting their own campaign to express their concerns about how this, what do you want to call it, culturally significant archaeological landscape is likely to be destroyed by this proposed development.